because one of the major challenges of heat is the impact on health. So if we're able to contribute to temperature reduction through these vertical graining systems, how can it promote health? What diseases, especially diseases associated with heat in the tropics, things like malaria, mental conditions like anxiety, how can it contribute to cardiovascular situations like high blood pressure? So those are the next steps we look forward to in this research. I think I'm going to stop there. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very interesting indeed. Yes, we are moving on very well, and I think now I want to invite Dr. Thorne. Thorne, are you in the room or are you online? No, not anywhere. Okay, so that's Jessica Thorne is not with us. I'm also informed that Dr. somebody is also not here. So our last and very last presenter, do we have Thomas, Dr. Thomas, online or? Oh, you are there. Oh, great. So let's hear from Thomas and then we go to Q&A.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, I'm a lucky guy to be the last, or I'm not the lucky guy, I don't know, but I will be a bit brief on my presentation. Basically, we are proposing, or we are working now on the design of the solar biogas hybrid dryer. So basically, our research is based on tackling the issue of post-harvest loss. I'm not a food engineer, I'm just an electromechanical engineer. So I'm applying renewable energy technologies to tackle the post-harvest loss, specifically by using renewables. So we are integrating two renewables, solar and biogas, to dry agricultural produce in order to prolong the life, storage, and the lights. So basically, the idea is we have the issue of post-harvest loss. Okay, we have the issue of post-harvest loss. We know all Africa, we have that's a big issue. So we have the loss of post-harvest of over 30 to 40%, even higher for perishable fruit, perishable crops like vegetables and the fruits. So for us, we are coming out to try to see what are the existing technologies and what we should implement or innovate to come out with a bit cheaper and affordable technology to the small scale people, to the small scale farmers, especially people or women groups that are dealing with drying products for business purposes. So the idea, we know there are many post-harvest management technologies existing, but one of them is the open sun drying. This is the common to everyone. We dry through open sun, but there is an issue of poor quality of the products because of the contaminants with the other insects or whatever. So it's a big of challenge, and this is the technology that is being used by many, especially women in Tanzania. Many of them that are doing business on the dried products. So also there are different technologies that are existing, research on the passive solar drying, just using the sun, and then you dry your products. But we know the sun is not available all the time, and the people need to be drying the products at least throughout so that they can do business. So we are coming with the idea of integrating these two systems. We use solar. When it is not available, then you have a backup of biogas system. Yes, if not biogas, then also LPG can be used. But our idea is to use biogas as well because it is renewable and environmentally friendly. That's when we come with a technology that we call a solar biogas hybrid dryer. So what we will do in the 5-year project, we'll develop a prototype of a dryer and then do the piloting. Possibly we'll install it to a group of women that are dealing with the production of drying products for businesses. So we'll try to investigate different parameters, also try to optimize the technology. So we'll design the system. Also, we'll do to carry up the in-situ experimental performance analysis. We will assess the quality of the products and compare to the open sun drying, including with the fresh products, to see if we have disturbed the nutrients or any kind of food contents that is supposed to be in. Also, we do the techno-economic analysis. Basically, here we'll concentrate on the social acceptance of the technology to the local people. Also, we'll do the patenting will definitely be there. Also, do the dissemination. As I know from my country, Tanzania, people are not used to buy or eat dried fruits. So during dissemination, we'll need to have a huge job, especially on creating awareness to the people that they can dry product, prolong the life, then they can eat with a good content and then reduce the post-harvest loss rather than the situation that we have now. So we'll go through different activities. We'll do the performance analysis. We'll do the quality analysis, as I said, exploring different parameters. Also, we'll do the techno-economic analysis, basically the costs. We'll do the cost-benefit ratio, also the net present value, also life cycle analysis following the ISO standards. Yeah, this is just a skeleton from the comprehensive work plan. So we'll do all these activities, but basically we need to engage at least 5 students, 4 from masters and 2 PhDs. So we have started the activities. We are in the 3rd bullet. We have already launched the projects. We have already recruited few students. And so we launched our project on the 20th July this year, where we called different key stakeholders within our region to get their input so that we can understand what kind of the dryer that we will develop as a prototype for piloting, possibly maybe upscale or scale up depending on the applications. Also, we have selected 3 students. By now, we have 2 PhDs and 1 master's. Unfortunately, the gender is not balanced, so don't worry, we still have space for next time. So next time we'll be hunting for the other gender to have a good balance of the gender. So yeah, the good thing is we have internationalized the project. So we have the Ugandan student PhD. Yeah, so this is the general idea of what we are thinking now, of what we are building now. So we said we will have a solar collector on this side, and then we'll have a heat exchanger here where we'll integrate the biogas. Where biogas will be burned here, so there will be no contact between fresh air going to the dryer to the biogas, because contacting biogas and air going to the dryer will be a problem to the food. So we will have a duct here where each cabinet here will have different fresh air going in and getting out. Also, the other side we put some of the chimneys. This will help us to create a density difference of the air so that you can have a flow of air coming in to the dryer, then going out. So we don't like to integrate sophisticated systems. We want it to be simple so that people can afford it, or they don't need to have expertise, especially on the operations. We can put it to complicated, but we don't like to go that, because the target people is not the one that are having a lot of money. We are looking for low income kinds of people working on the drying industry. Yeah, so I think that's the idea that we're working with. There are a lot of outcomes that we're expecting, but basically we are concentrating on the food security that will reduce post-harvest loss through drying, also the climate change issues, because we are using renewable technologies instead of fossil fuels or cutting trees for drying purposes. Also, we'll do some outreach to secondary school students just to involve them on the STEM, just to motivate them so that they can come into the science. You saw there, we're getting difficulties on getting the engineers, especially on the PhD and the master's level. Yeah, so I thank the ACE, African Union, and the European Union for funding the ARISE program. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was another very interesting presentation. And now I open the floor to questions and then we'll get answers from the presenters. And if there are any clarification or I think this is the time now. Who wants to go first? I know time is not on our side, but let's comments, compliments, questions. Yes. There's a microphone here. I know you are one of the presenters, yeah?
That's why I don't know whether I should ask, because I thought I should get questions. It's to the last speaker about the biogas. I'm not sure what material would supply the gas. And considering that it's drying food, if it's going to be human or animal waste, I'm not sure. Just wanted to shed more light on that.
Can you give him the microphone? Are you using human waste? Or,
Yes, not sure for now, because our interest is not on the production of biogas. People, they can get biogas anywhere. But for us, so far, most of our biogas production we get from the manure, the cow dungs. That's where we get most of our production, because we are located in the Maasai land, where there are a lot of cattle. Yeah. So far.
The community is going to build their own biogas digesters?
Yeah, the idea is either they build their own or they can just purchase, because other people, they sell biogas. So there are pressurized plastic bags. So you can just buy it and then use it like the normal LPG. Yeah.
Are you satisfied? Okay. I know there's some cultural issues about biogas production, but I think the project seems very good. And you talked of just one level, the low costs. Why don't you think of the high costs so that you can have an income generation to sustain the project?
That one now depends with the people that we are targeting for now, because the idea was generated from the low people that are drying at a low scale. They are doing business, especially women in groups. We met them during the different exhibitions. So we are trying to help them on that. But scaling up is not a big deal, because to depend with the load, then you size the dryer according. Yeah.
So any questions on we had presentation for the Nile something tilapia. There was the earthquakes and many others. Clarification? Yes. You can target your question to the particular presenter.
Okay. I've got a question on the tilapia project. I'm just wondering, you said, how are you determining that the temperature of the increasing temperature of the lakes is related to climate change? How are you determining that?
Tilapia presenter. Did you get that question? Yeah, you are talking about increase in temperature and was it mortality of the fish or?
So maybe I can just add to that. I feel even if climate change may not only be affecting the temperature of the water, what of things like the salinity and other quality parameters, would you be considering that in your trials?
Yeah, just respond to those.
Yes, thank you for these questions. Yeah, it's true that temperature can be affected by other aspects, not only climate change. But in this case, we have been referring to earlier studies that have been done by some other scientists that point at climate change as being one of the major factors, because some of these factors are interrelated, but climate change also plays a role. So based on the literature that we reviewed, it points at climate change also playing a role, because the studies also studied how the temperatures were changing, not only in the water, but also in the environment or atmosphere rather. Yeah, so not only in the water, but as well as the atmosphere.
Yeah, you talked of 4 lakes and you never mentioned which lakes you are working on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because of the short time. This Lake Victoria, Lake Kyoga, Lake Albert, and Lake Edward George system. Those are the 4 major lakes in Uganda.
Okay, you are not looking at Lake Malawi?
No, Lake Malawi is not in Uganda.
It's not in
What?
Uganda, but I saw you have somebody from Malawi.
Yes,
In your
it's
team?
a collaboration because we were looking at the strengths that he has. He has long-term expertise in selective breeding of Nile tilapia. So we thought having him on the team would enrich us.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. Okay, so are you satisfied? Yeah. Yes. Can you pass on the microphone to our friend here?
Okay, thank you. It's just a follow-up question to the 2 questions that we asked. So the temperatures that you are reported, is this the average temperature of the lake? Or it's like, you know, the temperature of water, it decreases as you go down, right? That's my understanding. So is this temperature average temperature, or is temperature at a specific depth? That is one. And then the second one, I want to find out the effect of the temperature on the rate of evaporation. Does this have an effect on the volume of the water in the lake? Thank you.
Okay, you got those questions. Temperature seems to be decreasing with depth. These fish breeding at the bottom of the seabed or on the surface where the temperatures are warmer? Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you so much. In terms of the temperature that is reported, yeah, this is an average temperature, but following trends over time. It's not like it's a temperature that is there throughout the year, but there are peaks during the year when it is higher. So it is an average temperature, but again, as he mentioned, tilapia is not a fish that goes right to the bottom of any water body. It's more, it occupies more the surface layers. So it makes it even more prone because those upper layers are more exposed to the higher temperature. As you go lower, as you mentioned, the temperature tends to lower. And tilapia in particular is inhabiting
Is that correct?
Maybe we shall verify that, but tilapia normally inhabits even shallow water systems.
What I know is that ocean temperatures, the surface is much warmer, but as you go down deep, it gets cooler and cooler to the extent that you can get 0 temperatures below at the seabed. But for shallow lakes, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, yes, drops. Yeah, because of the surface, you get the heating from the sun's energy, so it retains heat for a longer period of time compared to the water, unless there's the circulation, those are currents that chance. Oh, wow.
And then as you go down, the temperature decreases. This is why you can have these other animals that are living in the sea, the kind of
yes, I think we are. Let's not confuse ourselves. It will depend on which body you are looking at, whether it's shallow, whether it's deep. But I know as you go down, temperatures decreases, and they are using that in some countries to generate electricity, ocean thermal energy conversion systems. It uses that temperature difference between the surface and the depth. Yes, and you can generate power out of it. But back to you with tilapia and
Yeah. Yes, I think, yeah, what the audience has contributed is what I also understand in terms of these lakes, because they are shallow water systems mainly, and tilapia inhabits such systems. And he also asked whether the temperature has an effect on the evaporation rate of the water. And that's true, yes, because they are even shallow water bodies. We have experienced long dry periods when the temperatures are very high, and the water recedes so much. And in terms of fish farming, it becomes a problem because fish are normally confined into a small place in a pond, and so they cannot migrate around as could be the case in, say, bigger water systems. So this issue of climate change is really a big threat, especially to tilapia. That is the main farmed fish species in East Africa. And also it's one of those major fish species that is of commercial importance in the region.
yeah, I know, I like tilapia myself. Yes. So can we have also reactions for the other presenters as well, or unless we are now exhausted, then I think it's now time to bring this to a close. We want, can we have a round of applause to the presenters, all of them? They have done an excellent, and we are seeing very good results actually coming from this research that they have done, both the C4D and the others. So continue with the same spirit and have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Thank you and bye.